Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone's doing well and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited, super excited today, yet again, because my next guest is an extraordinary gentleman with an incredible backstory who is now an entrepreneur and gives motivational and inspirational speaking uh, all across the nation. Without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Justin Danforth. How are you doing today, Justin?
I'm well. I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Yes, yes. As I mentioned prior to this, I am so thankful that you're here. I just want to say before I even go any further that I believe that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to choose to spend even a segment of your time in the history of your timeline here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolve, I just want to extend my sincerest gratitude to you. Thank you very much for being here at this present moment, sir.
Oh, it's a pleasure and an honor. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. So let's get right into it. As I mentioned before we came on live, I don't want to give too much away in the introduction. I want you to set us up with some of your incredible backstory and yeah, paint us a picture. Take it away, Justin.
Okay. So we all have bad seasons in life, right? And in 2002, I had one where I was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. So for those that don't know me, I'm Justin Danforth, owner of Danforth Fitness, where we help individuals become the best version of themselves by smashing all limiting beliefs and overcoming the obstacles and the vices that stand in the way. So I was incarcerated when I first turned 21 with an eighth grade education, facing a life sentence without the possibility of parole. And as tragic as that sounds, as bad as that sounds, that's not the worst part of my story.
Mm.
Also, at that same time, my daughter was only 10 months old. And me being locked up and charged and facing a life sentence without the possibility of parole, that still isn't the worst part of my story. See, the worst part of my story is the mindset that I had. That individual at that time, I was so corrupt. I had been doing wrong for so long.
Right.
I had been doing wrong for so long, it was hard to do right. Like doing the right thing just wasn't never an option. Like it wasn't even thought about. Like it was grueling to try to make a change or to try to do the right thing. Like I've never been one to bite my tongue. My mindset was so bad at that time. It was difficult to make the necessary changes in order to get to where I'm at today. And so I'll back up. I don't have some aha moment like to tell you, like I just woke up one day, it was like, oh, today's Monday, it's a good day to change the trajectory of the rest of my life. Like we all know, like it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, I just started reading the same self-help growth and development books, personal growth and development books that everybody else was reading. However, what differentiates me from the rest of the people is that I started to implement. I started applying what I was reading. Now, when I got locked up, I had an eighth grade education. And I really feel like to this day that played as a blessing and a curse, right? It was one of those gifts in disguise because a lot of us are too smart for our own good. So I had to read those books. I would literally have to read the same page multiple times to try to understand how was I going to apply this to my life. Because the language of the scholars, the language of those more intelligent, these are philosophers. These are people who study people, right? And so it just didn't come easy. So it worked in my favor that I had to really, really continue to read the same thing over and over and kind of keep like handwriting notes and then reading and studying in order to apply it to my life.
What I wanted to know, if I may interject just for a second, and please don't lose your train of thought, man, because I want to hear it. I want to finish. listening to you. What I know you didn't say, you said there was no defining moment, but what inspired you, or who inspired you to even pick up these books?
Great question. And so that's what I was getting ready to get into.
Oh,
Like,
okay. My
no, no, no,
apologies.
no. So for me, going to the penitentiary was the greatest thing that ever happened for me. Now, notice I said for me and not to me. And that's just
Mm,
knowing the difference between a victim mentality and a victor mentality,
mm,
right? A lot of people, we can always play the victim mentality and blame. I could have blamed the judge, my lawyer. My lawyer literally threw in the towel. And
wow.
I could blame, the events that took place in order that to have me placed under arrest in the first place. So, however, I never blamed any of that. Going to prison was the greatest thing that happened for me because life happens for us and not to us. And
I
why it was
agree.
the greatest thing is because it gave me a chance to sit with myself. And so
Mm,
now I'm going to ask you that question. It wasn't no one specific moment, but the longer I sat with myself, the more disgusted I became. When I looked in the mirror, all I seen was it was hard to look myself in the mirror and to look at myself in the mirror because one of the things we struggle with the most is facing the truth. Nobody likes the truth, right? You know the saying, the
right,
truth hurts.
right,
And
right.
so, what was the truth? The truth was I hated who I was, where I was, and how I got there. And when I really get all the way honest, it was my decisions and choices that got me in that place to begin with. So that was the truth that I had to face, and that's what was the hardest pill to swallow of all. It was like I did this to myself, and I don't like it.
Mm,
So something has to give. And so I'm gonna paraphrase, but there's a quote, and I don't know who it's by, but it says like, a person won't change until the pain becomes worse than the fear of change and the discomfort of change itself.
yes, yes, I've read that too, and I can't think of
So,
who
so,
said that.
so, change makes us this uncomfortable, man. It's very unnerving. Nobody wants to do things differently, right?
Right.
Especially for me, because like I said, I had been thinking, speaking, and doing wrong for so long. Doing the right thing just didn't come easy. Like this meant sacrifices had to be made. I had to give up smoking. I've been smoking for 13 years. I had to
Yeah.
quit. I had to quit smoking. I got to quit. I got to watch my tongue, man. I had a vicious
Mhm.
tongue. I could make
Right,
grown men cry with just the words that I said.
right.
I got to quit gambling, quit lusting. I love beautiful women. Like quit this, quit that. Like, quit. So that's
Wow.
what's going on in my head. And it's a constant battle, man. It makes you want to scream like, ah. Like
No. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because I've struggled with similar you know, adversities along the way, So I'm just like, wow, man.
a lot of us do. A lot of us
Right.
do. And so, like I said, in order to live a life of purpose over pleasure, one will inevitably have to make sacrifices. And so
Yes.
that's when I really, really learned that um, living a life of deduction makes room for a life of addition, right? And what I
Wow.
mean is I had to start taking away the things that weren't conducive to the vision that I now have for myself, the person that I want to be and become.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so I started to implement, like I said, the things that I were reading, and I started to design my program, my daily process, which was a chain of small actions that were conducive to the growth and development in order for me to step into that vision to that man. So it's like having an avatar or a Frankenstein. Like I'm building my own mold and I'm shaping it. What does the man that I want to be and become? What does he sound like? What does he walk like? What does he dress like? What kind of car does he drive? House does he live in? Wife does he have? Right? What is the relationship that he has in the community with his peers, his neighbors,
Right.
all of those things, right? To the very detail, so detailed that it would give me goosebumps.
Mm,
Because what I found that by sitting in prison for so long, so clearly I didn't end up with a life sentence. I ended up getting convicted of second-degree murder and
mm,
sentenced to 17 years and 9 months, of which I served a total of 14 years and 4 months of my life in prison.
right.
And
Yes.
so and so what I learned and discovered by a lot of individuals that were the recidivism rate, right? Coming and going, coming and going. I just wanted one chance. Just let me out of here one time. Y'all keep coming back. Either you like it here, you hard-headed. Nobody likes it here. So y'all got to be hard-headed. So it was
Right.
only right. It was only right that I had to make some changes in myself. I had to make those sacrifices. I had to discover everything I do, every decision I make. I asked the one question: is this decision on purpose, or is this decision for pleasure?
Mm.
Even down to
Intentional.
waking up, even down to hitting the snooze button in the morning. If I say I got to get up at a certain time in order to move the needle so that I can get more things done, to be productive, to be proactive, and stepping into that vision to become the man, the entrepreneur, to make the money, to have the relationship, all the things that we want. If I hit that snooze button, is that living in my purpose, or is that gonna be for
Wow.
pleasure?
Wow. It seems to me you're thinking on purpose, every action, every word. And that's where I am as well. I'm not taking away from what you just said because it's an incredible story. It's an incredible testimony. And that's why when I read your a bit about you, I resonated so much with it. Now, I had never been, convicted of anything or served any time in prison. I've been to jail a couple of times, but just the people that I grew up around, I dodged a bullet on several occasions that I was involved in activities that could have landed me there, and watched a lot of my peers either get killed or end up, serving lengthy sentences, behind bars. So I always looked at it like, for some reason, I don't know, maybe in your situation, that was good for you because it helped to reel you back in. I went through some things on the outside that really brought me down to my knees, that reeled me in. But nonetheless, I'm a totally different person than what I used to be. Now I smile a lot. I didn't used to smile. I used to have a frown, you know, all the time, and just angry until I, like you said, set with myself and stop blaming other people. Stop pointing, not saying that other people don't do anything wrong or anything, but none of that even matters. You got to live with yourself. You have to live inside your head. And this is what I'm getting from you. And it's affirming, affirmative to how I believe now, what I know now, I would say. So incredible. I just want to commend you, Justin, on your journey, man, and just being courageous enough to take responsibility and to work on yourself. Because even something like that sounds very simple, you and I know a
Mm.
lot of people don't do that. They don't take responsibility and they don't work on themselves. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, people pride themselves as, I don't change. I'm always the same. And it's like, when you really, it used to sound cool back in the day. I'm always the same, no. We're meant to evolve. We're meant to change. We're
yeah,
meant to change up. Oh man, you changing up. You different. Yes, thank you. Now I say thank you. Yes, I am different. I'm a grown man now that takes care of his family, loves to travel, loves to meet people, and wants peace in his life. So yes, I have changed. And so I
yeah,
tell people thank you. When I run into, people from, before, I'll tell them that. Yeah, thank you. You changed, man. This. Thank you.
yeah.
So,
People hate on what they gave up on, man. So
right,
anytime you have those haters, man, they're really just hating on what they see in you that they gave up on. Because we
right,
all have the opportunity to do better. We all have the opportunity to eat right, right? We all have the
right,
opportunity to do some exercise. We all have the opportunity to be kind or to do the things that are uplifting or positive or grow.
mm,
And a lot of people give up on that because they'd rather do what? They'd rather just submit to their lower whims and desires, like
right,
smoke, get high, drink. It's easy to just to do these things, the chase the desires, man. And so
right.
they hate on what they gave up on. And
Yes.
it's unfortunate because we all have that potential, man. And that's one of the most heartbreaking things that I face on a day-to-day is like I just see everybody is like, if you only knew the potential that you had, man. So
That's
um
amazing. And I love the way you articulated that, Justin, is that, you know, they're comfortable just being in connecting with their lower selves. And I would like to add a bit to that. People get comfortable in their discomfort, and change is just too much. They'd rather stay in that toxicity, because at least it's familiar. And that's where, in the street mentality, the hood mentality, prides themselves on, and I'm not putting down anyone, because we all have our journeys
Mhm.
and we only know what we know. But that's why you're here, people like you, to tell, to enlighten, others. And through your story, I know that you can connect with a lot of people, especially those who have chose, what you had chose at one point, because, and I believe that you, without even knowing you, you had to go through that to get to where you are now. And you even said that you had to, and now look at you. You're a shining example that never give up on yourself, never give up on life, and that you can evolve, grow, and change no matter where you were or whatever. You're a shining example of that, and that's why I am so excited. I won't say was, but am so excited to have you here speaking with me today, because, man, it's not often that I can relate to somebody, not only on a soul level, but on just like a real level. Like your story is similar to what I saw growing up, and what I was very close to. So yes, yes. And I'm
Yeah,
not embarrassed to say that. I am not embarrassed to say that, because I I feel just like you. It's a testimony. It's a testimony to who I am now. It's like, oh, I had to go through all that, all that destruction, all that toxicity, all, I'm not going to name everything, because today this is your show. But I had to go through all that to get me to a place where I sat with myself, and I did.
yeah.
And I didn't like what I saw either. And not only did I not like what I saw, I didn't like the destruction, the trail of destruction I was leaving around me, in regard to just people, relationships, my own kids, everything, just everything. Something was always happening. And I could say that pretty much I was the root of the problem.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm just so thankful that, yeah, yeah. So, tell us a bit about, so now you speak, you speak at different places now around the country now, huh? How did that come into fruition?
Yeah, so it's a great question. I throughout my incarceration, um, like I said, I got locked up with an eighth grade education. So one of the first things I did once I decided to start making some different changes, making some better decisions in my life, I got my GED, and then I stayed in classes. At the time, they offered college courses and things like that. So eventually, I ended up getting a 2-year associate's degree in electronical engineering technology.
Oh, wow.
So
Congratulations.
thank you. And then I took a few other courses and some vocational classes. Well, what that did was it helped to establish a sense of discipline in me, on top of like running parallel to the education factor, because you got to be in school on time, you got to do the work to get the
Right.
grade in order to, in order to move forward, right? So parallel to that, I was also getting heavily involved in fitness and nutrition.
Mm,
And so another thing which instills discipline, right? So because the reason these things instill the discipline is because um, it's a delayed gratification. You got to do it long enough to get a result. And what I found, like for me and a lot of those around us, even today and back then in prison, that we chase instant gratification. We want everything instantaneously, man. We want
yes.
instant oatmeal,
Right.
instant
Right.
coffee, faster,
Right.
faster internet. DoorDash my food right now. Like
Right
when
now.
I was
Wow.
growing up, we wanted the pizza man to be 30 minutes late so we could get a discount or get it for free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep. I've been there.
so now, we want everything right now, faster, faster, faster. That's that instant gratification. So with fitness and nutrition and education, it instills in you that delayed gratification, that discipline, because you have to do it long enough to get the result. So I'm saying all of that to say, throughout the time, I sharpened my skills, and I took some public speaking courses because,
Wow.
and while I was in prison, I accepted the religion of Islam as my religion and became Muslim. And so the more I grew and became more involved and built the relationship with my Lord, I was elected to be prayer leader of the Islamic community at multiple facilities. So now I have to lead the people. And in doing so, I had to give a sermon every Friday. So I took public speaking, and I would work and study how to speak and things of that nature, how to deliver, to get the message across, because everybody's not gonna receive the message if the delivery's off, right? And even if it's on, everybody's not gonna receive it. But like say you may listen to country music and I may listen to rap, right? The two artists could say the exact same lyrics, but you're gonna relate to with what you relate to, right?
Right.
And based off of the delivery and what they're saying. So I started speaking then, and then as I came towards the end of my sentence, I had the privilege of working my way to minimum custody. And when you're under 5 years, you can get a pass to go out into the community with a volunteer, like a qualified volunteer, approved volunteer could come pick you up for 6 hours and take you out into the community twice a week. So a lot of guys they would want to go to restaurants, or they want to go to the movies and the bowling alley and things like that. I was scheduling to go to venues to speak at the Boys and Girls Club. YMCA had a program with at-risk youth, right? So I was speaking to the at-risk youth because I knew where I came from, and I wanted to reach out and help and try to break that. If I could just help one of those kids, man, because they were already getting in trouble, and I already know where they're headed.
Incredible.
And so I gave, I was doing speaking engagements there at the churches and things like that, and that's how I ended up getting involved with public speaking.
That's
And
amazing.
So, yeah.
Wow, man, that's amazing, Justin. That, like I said, that something inside of you, you got out of your own way is what I'm going to say, and tapped in to uh your real purpose in life, and it's amazing. It's beautiful that's what you wanted to do, not just hang out. And I'm not putting anybody else down, because that's fine. I probably would have done that at the time, is went to the movies and went to a restaurant, stuff that I couldn't do. But you, being the extraordinary person that you were developing into, decided you wanted to use your time to go help other people. And that's incredible, man. I just want to commend you on that as well. Yes,
Thank
yes. And give you a bit of your flowers for doing that, man. Because that you're, in my opinion, giving back. And people often think, and I want to be able to say this right, that in order to give back, you have to have a lot of money or something like that. No,
No.
you were giving back with your service, with
Yeah.
your insight, with your story, that these young kids that were heading, like you said, possibly heading down the same path, and trying to deter that. And so that's incredible. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So give us some insight on your fitness venture as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So for me, like I said, I started to develop a daily process of habits that were conducive to my growth and development
Right.
as a person. And so I strongly believe, like to this day, and nobody can tell me different, that fitness and health go hand in hand with striving to perfect one's personal growth structure, right?
Right.
So one of the things I do is in the morning, after I drink, so I get up at 3 o'clock every morning. That's mandatory, 7 days a
Wow.
week. Yeah, it's
What are
seven
you, a
days.
professional fighter or what, man? Okay.
So
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
yeah. And I'll answer a question on that in a minute. I'll circle back around to why 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Um, but so I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I drink at least immediately. I'll try to drink at least 16 ounces of water.
Mm.
I read, like I said, I'll study something short, something quick from personal growth and development, and take a few notes. Now, my journaling process is different than most people's. Like, I don't do gratitude journaling. Like, if that works for you, that's great. I mean, I know I'm happy. My daughter was born, and I got a house and a car. Like, I know all of that, man. To me, gratitude is action. So for
Mm.
me, I don't have to write down the things that I'm grateful for. To me, it's to do every single day, show and prove that I'm grateful for these things by being the best person that I can be. right? So for me, my journaling process is just a 3-step process. It's just what do I regret from the day before?
Mm.
You know, anything that I
Wow.
regret. Did I lash out? Did I say something you know, out of pocket to my wife? Or, you know, did I feel a certain way about somebody? Did I get impatient in traffic? It could be the most minute thing. Anything
Right.
that I regret from the day before. Then
Mm.
the next step of that 3-step process is what can I do today to never do that again?
Mm. Wow.
And then I
Amazing.
find Thank you. And then I find that, and then the third step is find a quote, a motivational, inspirational quote, and kind of how does that apply to my life and how can I use it today or moving forward?
Mm.
And that's
Wow.
it.
Powerful.
Quick
Powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
and easy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So quick and easy. So I do some journaling, and then I go and then I shoot to the gym. I go into a crucial workout. Again, like I said, fitness is the gateway to success, and it's a growth tactic when we're talking about you know, mind, body, and soul improvement.
Mm.
So it's also the antidepressant,
Right.
um
Right. I agree.
anti-anxiety, anti-stress. Like people want to take pills and drugs and drinks and all of these things, man,
Right.
to, you know, because their mental health and
Right.
the anxiety or the depression and stuff like that. It's like, go get a good workout, do 100 burpees and tell
Mm.
me how you feel.
Mm.
You ain't worried
Wow.
about paying bills. You won't worry about nothing. So
Right.
personal peak performance, getting your heart rate up. I mean, it's science proves, you know, it's not it's not no big secret that, you know, two happy hormones start pumping when you get your heart rate up like that. And it's, you know, it's the endorphins and the dopamines, right?
Right.
Which is and it's all natural. So
Mm.
we don't need no supplements for that. All we need to do is a good workout. And a workout for you might be different than a workout for me. Like
Right.
it could be just a power walk, or it could be a swim, or you know, anything, a kayak, something. I don't know. It could be anything. For me, it could
Right.
be weight training, or it could be a sprint, anything. But so because a lot of times you say workout, people automatically go to this vision of lifting heavy weights in the gym,
Mm.
and then it blocks them from wanting to ever do it. And it's like it's relative to the individual and it's different for everybody. But for me,
Right.
so I go into that workout, man, and that helps just to get me on a different level. And while I'm at the gym, I've already done some focus and reflection, and now I got a quote at top of mind. So now when I'm reaching that flow state, everything is just I'm in a heightened state of mind, so everything becomes clear.
Wow. I like how you put that.
And so now all I have to do, the only thing I've got to worry about is not break character at the onset of anything that tries to break this high that I'm on, this natural high that I'm on.
Wow. Wow, man. Incredible and just mindful, you know. That's amazing. I can also resonate with the working out. I fall off here and there, and especially in regard to my eating, because I just love food, man. But my workout, I can't go a week without
Yeah.
getting out there and doing it. Like I'm on this thing now. My latest vibe is I'm running stairs. So where I work, there's some steel stairs on the outside of the building, so 6 flights. So I'm going up and down those, like jogging up them. And then at the bottom, when I come back down, do 30 push-ups and then go back up and do it again. So
Yeah.
yeah, and when I get to the top of them stairs, it feels like, and I don't even want to say it, but it feels like that I'm gonna pass out. My heart is just, it's just beating so fast and I'm trying to catch my breath. But after I'm finished, oh, I feel great. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Great.
it takes all the troubles away.
I
You know,
feel so good, man.
it's no different than like yeah, the things the troubles and things still exist in life.
Right.
But now you got a different perspective. You feel better about the positive things and the blessings that you do have in life.
Right.
So you know, and that's the reason most people get high or get drunk trying to escape the pressures
Yes.
and the
Masks or
troubles
in escape. Yes.
they're trying to, that's just an escape. But if you it's so funny because when you really think about it, it's not funny, but it's interesting that when you really think about it, people turn to they look for happiness in the same thing that takes it away. So
Mm.
it's like
Wow.
I'm gonna
Say that again. Say that
yeah,
again, please, sir.
yeah. People tend to search for happiness in the same thing that takes it away.
Ooh, deep.
So it's like, oh, I'm gonna drink this bottle of alcohol to wipe, you know, to feel better. to have more confidence, to get, the stressful day that I had at work or whatever it is.
Right.
But then I'm gonna feel like crap because now I'm an alcoholic or I'm a drunk or I'm hungover, or I'm throwing up or whatever it is, right?
Right.
Same thing with drugs, same thing with gambling or lusting, porn, like
Hmm.
all the things
Right.
people turn to things and then they regret doing it. And regret is our guideline, man. Anything you regret doing, that's the blueprint right there. All
Yep.
you have to do is know that don't do that again.
I
And now
totally
you're one step
agree.
closer to improvement and betterment.
I agree. And if I can add to that, having restraint to me builds character. Something that you just don't impulsively do that you and I learned to exercise too. When you talking to yourself, instead of saying, I forgot how it was said, but I repeated it to myself a few times instead of telling yourself, hey, um, I'm not gonna drink anymore. Just be just say to yourself, I'm not drinking right now, or just focus on each moment is what it is, instead of trying to focus on this whole big thing like, oh, I'm not gonna drink. Today I didn't.
Yeah,
Next day I didn't. Next day, and
yeah,
just focus on those, those short periods. Basically, I probably messed up the wording, but the key thing is to take little segments at a time, and then when you can look back and now it's 30 days, hey, I didn't look at porn today, or I didn't, you know, give into my primitive desires, or whatnot. Just take it a step at a time. And
yeah,
you,
yeah.
yeah,
You said something very, very important, man. And I live by that. Like you gain strength through restraint.
right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I even watch, because I watch guys exercise online, like different calisthenics and all that. That interests me, because whatever to me that you are, you want to embody, you look up stuff about that. So I look at up
Yep.
guys exercising, and they're really big into the retention, from what. I'm not sure if this will get blocked if I say the wrong word, but retention and abstaining from that action for a while, and there's something that it builds from that. So yeah, I agree. All that. I haven't went that far for a long time, but I have, for a
Yeah,
period of time. Yeah. So yeah, just all that. I think I look into all that when I just hear something. Okay, let me look up and see what this is. I heard somebody say it one time. Oh, I'm abstaining, I'm retention this, and I'm okay, well, let me look. You know what I mean? So all that, okay, that helps you more clarity. Same with like fasting. If you haven't eaten in a while, you get more clarity. And I've noticed that because I've had 2 3 day fasts, and I just feel different. I'm
yeah,
more in tune to things. When I'm reading, I feel like Gandhi or something. I don't know. It does something.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
And that's the thing, right? So you got like if you think of times of the past,
Right.
some of the things that got the most clarity and the strongest individuals, they would practice things like fasting, and they would practice things like isolation, right? And long treks. Like they would just go on long treks until they went so far, they would just drop to their knees. And then that's when they would pray for strength to keep going. And so again, that's the exercise, that's restraining, the fasting, the isolation where you sit with yourself, you become more focused and clear and self-aware. All right. But I agree wholeheartedly, man. It's a lot of like we all are looking for some like external validation or this answer from something else. Like all the answers to the questions we have they all lie within. They're right in your chest.
I agree.
Problem is we allow our ego to get in between our conscious. And as long as you allow your ego to get in between your conscious, you'll always have problems. Always.
Wow.
Because your
Amazing, man.
conscious ain't gonna steer you wrong. Never.
Man, you sharing what these this the culture now, the youngsters are saying bars. You dropping a lot of bars today. And I appreciate it, man.
Jules.
Yes, 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 yes. You're dropping jewels. Yes. So before we conclude this segment, how can people find you?
On Instagram, on IG.
Okay.
It's @ Justin Danforth. It's my name.
All right. All right. And I'll be sure to incorporate those links in the description of this segment when it's edited and uploaded as well. So, yes, we're down to about 3 more minutes. Is there anything else you would like to share before we sign off?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say a person, your a person's level of success in any area, whether it's your occupation, your business, your relationship with your spouse, relationship with your child or your parents, neighbors, whatever, your level of success will never exceed your level of personal growth and development.
Mm,
Because success is something you attract by the person you become.
wow. More bars. Appreciate you, Justin, for
Thank
just
you.
dropping us jewels, bars, nuggets of wisdom, insight, testimony, amazing, incredible story. As I mentioned, I told you everybody that this man has an incredible insight, incredible story. I told you. Don't doubt me next time. Yes, thank you everyone for watching and or listening. Be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button. Share this, help get this incredible message out there, elevate the planet, help the platform grow, help me bring more amazing content like this. Thank you. And also go in the description of this segment, check out Justin's links, check out the link to the Enlightened, Empowered, Evolve website, 333empower.com. And yeah, just thank you for watching and spending some of your time here. I appreciate everyone. Until next time, love and appreciation. See you soon. Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved.